So I get a call from Prince Harry on Easter Saturday, and he says, sorry to bother you, but...
What's the secret to your eternal personal glow?
Well, Harry.
Meghan, celebrating the sexy earth goddess in all of us.
Sitting down, giving that interview, that awful interview to Oprah Winfrey, calling the royal family racists, false.
There's a conversation with you,
with Harry,
about how dark your baby is going to be?
potentially, and what that would mean or look like.
Cry.
No, the reverse happened.
So here's what went down. Oprah Winfrey, the same Oprah who basically gave Meghan Markle her golden ticket to worldwide sympathy back in 2021, has just turned around and burned that ticket to ashes. The Oprah who once leaned in with soft eyes and gave Meghan the stage to cry, vent, and throw the palace under the bus. Yeah, that Oprah has now gone live and admitted she regrets ever doing it. And not just in some quiet, behind-the-scenes whisper. She said it in front of millions, raw and unfiltered, like ripping off a bandage and letting the whole world watch the wound. And trust me, she didn't just say, oops, I was wrong. She said she was deceived, lied to, manipulated, that she felt used. And then, the shocker of all shockers, she turned around and issued a heartfelt apology to none other than Catherine, Princess of Wales. Let that sink in. Meghan's biggest villain, the woman she painted as the cold, cruel royal who supposedly made her cry, suddenly became the one Oprah was publicly defending. It was like watching Meghan's entire victim narrative collapse in real time. The apology itself was savage without even trying to be. Oprah looked straight into the camera and said Catherine deserved better, that she should have pressed Meghan harder, fact-checked the stories, and not handed her a stage to spin her truth without proof. For Catherine, this was the win of the century. She didn't have to fight, she didn't have to explain herself, she just sat there, silent, while Oprah tore down Meghan's castle of lies brick by brick. But the real kicker? Oprah didn't stop at an emotional confession. She brought receipts, or at least the closest thing to them. She started dismantling Meghan's biggest claims like she was pulling threads out of a dress, one by one until nothing was left. And the first thread she yanked? The bridesmaid dress drama. Remember how Meghan told the world Catherine made her cry right before the royal wedding? Oprah shut that down in one brutal sentence. Both women cried, Meghan twisted it. That moment alone rewrote years of headlines, leaving Meghan looking like she orchestrated a pity play for the cameras. And here's where the gossip turns truly messy. Oprah wasn't just Meghan's interviewer back then, she was her ally, her shield, her validator. Meghan wasn't treated like some celebrity guest, she was welcomed into Oprah's inner circle, almost like family. They were photographed together, celebrated together, and Meghan basked in that glow because Oprah's word isn't just powerful, it's gospel. If Oprah said Meghan was telling the truth, the world believed it. Period. Which is why this flip feels like betrayal with a capital B. Oprah basically admitted she was duped into handing Meghan the biggest platform of her life. And worse, she said Meghan didn't just fool the public, she fooled her. She didn't even soften the blow by saying she was mistaken. No. She said she was played. Played like a pawn in Meghan's endless back-and-forth battle with the royals. That's not just an apology, that's a declaration of war. The fallout? Oh, it's brutal. Meghan's credibility was already shaky after the Netflix doc and endless rumors of half-truths, but this? This is catastrophic. Because when the most trusted woman in media, someone whose brand is built entirely on truth, stands up and says, "This woman lied to me," it doesn't just dent your image, it detonates it. Meghan's reputation isn't limping, it's free-falling. And what makes it even more savage is the silence from Catherine's side. She hasn't uttered a single word through all this, yet she's coming out as the ultimate winner. Meghan looks exposed, Oprah looks redeemed, and Catherine? She looks untouchable. That's the kind of narrative twist Meghan could never have predicted, and it all unfolded live, with no chance to spin, no PR shield, just the raw weight of Oprah's words crushing the very empire she helped create. And just like that, years of headlines painting Catherine as some icy, heartless royal villain melted away in a flash. One correction from Oprah, and poof, the whole narrative was gone.
Biggest regrets
Oprah Winfrey says she feels partly responsible. One of her biggest regrets, she says, was
When you have been lied about for a series of years, how hurtful that is. So imagine that for over a period of months and years, and you know that it isn't true.
She, quote, deeply regrets the royal racist controversy and is very sorry. What do you make of that? All of these regrets, isn't it too late?
You know, before I do any interview, I have a conversation with whoever I'm interviewing and ask, tell me what your intention is, and I will tell you what my intention is, and let's see if we can align those two, because I don't want you to finish an interview and at the end of the interview say, I wish I had said.
Distance herself from Meghan.
She says she's not very friendly with Meghan.
Asked Harry about it when he came out. He did not tell you who it was. Harry still is choosing to protect the identity of whoever that was.
Yes, and he did not share the identity with me that it was not his grandmother nor his grandfather that were a part of those conversations.
Black, but that's who she is. The way that they speak about her and the way they treat her is incredibly relatable to everybody else of color.
When you have been lied about for a series of years, how hurtful that
This is me eating sushi. Like me. This is me 25 years ago when I was hot. Like me.
Oh, it's f***ing sad. To offer them a platform to tell their story about why they left. And that was my number one intention, was just clarity on why did you leave? And so some of the things that were revealed in that interview came as a surprise to me. And those surprises are now referred to as bombs.
But if anyone thought Oprah was going to stop there, they were dead wrong. She was just warming up. Her next target? Meghan's biggest weapon of all, the racism card. Back in 2021, Meghan dropped that bombshell about concerns over Archie's skin color, and the world erupted. That allegation didn't just sting, it scorched the monarchy, branded the palace as outdated and prejudiced, and secured Meghan a tidal wave of sympathy. But Oprah, live and unsparing, sliced that sympathy card in half. She made it clear it wasn't some grand institutional conspiracy, but a single offhand remark twisted into a global scandal. And once Oprah said it, the whole illusion collapsed. Instead of people questioning the royals, suddenly they were questioning Meghan. And then Oprah pulled out receipts Meghan definitely didn't want aired. She revealed the palace hadn't iced Meghan out the way she claimed, they had offered support, counseling, guidance, ways to adjust. Meghan had options, but instead of taking them, she repackaged those very efforts into more ammunition for her victim's storyline. It was like watching a magician caught mid-trick, the smoke and mirrors ripped away for everyone to see. Oprah's message landed like a gut punch. Meghan didn't just exaggerate, she weaponized kindness and turned it into a pity parade. By the time Oprah was done, Meghan's carefully guarded sob story wasn't just dented, it was obliterated. And the final blow? The contrast. Oprah pivoted to Catherine, and the comparison was merciless. Without Catherine even speaking, her image came out glowing. Oprah described her as resilient, grounded, authentic, praising her for facing her cancer battle with quiet dignity instead of turning it into a spectacle. No crying interviews, no overproduced photo shoots, just grace under fire. Meanwhile, Meghan was busy flooding Instagram with polished aesthetics and lifestyle ads, promoting jam jars as though the world revolved around her curated feed. The side-by-side was devastating. One woman fighting for her life in silence, the other fighting for attention in filters. Oprah didn't soften the truth, she flat out said Catherine symbolized hope, while Meghan looked shallow, performative, and desperate. And coming right after Meghan was exposed for twisting stories? It was like twisting the knife. That wasn't just Catherine winning, it was Meghan being annihilated. The Oprah interview had always been Meghan's badge of credibility, her proof she had been wronged. But with Oprah now dismantling it piece by piece, that badge turned to dust. Her entire defense system vanished in seconds. The woman who once built her platform now demolished it, calling her performance a lie. The most brutal part? The shift of power. Meghan had always been one step ahead, controlling the narrative, forcing the palace to react to her side of the story. But the second Oprah spoke, that power was gone. Meghan couldn't spin it, couldn't deny it, because the takedown wasn't coming from critics, it was coming from her most trusted ally. And when your strongest supporter flips, That's not a scandal you recover from. That's abandonment. And the timing? Catastrophic. Meghan had just been quietly plotting her grand reinvention, new branding, polished Instagram posts, a lifestyle rollout designed to scream rebirth. For a second, it looked like she might actually pull off a comeback. But then, boom. Oprah's confession hit like a wrecking ball, stealing the spotlight completely. Instead of Meghan's glossy rebrand trending, the only thing people were watching were clips of Oprah exposing her lies. The fallout was instant. Catherine's quiet fight for survival captured the world's sympathy, while Meghan's new image was written off as shallow and fake. Polls confirmed the shift, Catherine's popularity soared to new heights, Meghan sank to record lows. And it wasn't bad luck, it was timing that could only be described as lethal. Meghan's big comeback didn't just flop. It was annihilated before it even began. From her Montecito mansion, Meghan could do nothing but sit back and watch the flames engulf everything she'd built.
One of my biggest regrets.
Oprah Winfrey says she feels partly responsible. One of her biggest regrets, she says, was
when you have been lied about for a series of years, how hurtful that is. So imagine that for over a period of months and years, and you know that it isn't true.
She, quote, deeply regrets the royal racist controversy and is very sorry. What do you make of that? All of these regrets, isn't it too late?
Before I do any interview, I have a conversation with whoever I'm interviewing and ask, tell me what your intention is, and I will tell you what my intention is, and let's see if we can align those two, because I don't want you to finish an interview and at the end of the interview say, I wish I had said.
Distance herself from Meghan.
She says she's not very friendly with Meghan.
Asked Harry about it when he came out. He did not tell you who it was. Harry still is choosing to protect the identity of whoever that was.
Yes, and he did not share the identity with me that it was not his grandmother nor his grandfather that were a part of those conversations. So I get a call from Prince Harry on Easter Saturday, and he says, sorry to bother you, but...
What's the secret to your eternal personal glow?
Well, Harry. Meghan, celebrating the sexy earth goddess in all of us.
Sitting down, giving that interview, that awful interview to Oprah Winfrey, calling the royal family racists, false.
There's a conversation with you,
with Harry,
about how dark your baby is going to be?
Potentially, and what that would mean or look like.
Cry.
No, the reverse happened.
Black, but that's who she is. The way that they speak about her and the way they treat her is incredibly relatable to everybody else of color.
When you have been lied about for a series of years, how hurtful that
This is me eating sushi. Like me. This is me 25 years ago when I was hot. Like me.
Oh, it's f***ing sad. To offer them a platform to tell their story about why they left. And that was my number one intention, was just clarity on why did you leave? And so some of the things that were revealed in that interview came as a surprise to me, and those surprises are now referred to as bombs.
It was brutal. Oprah's words were everywhere. Every news ticker, every talk show, every trending hashtag carried the sting of that betrayal. Clips of Oprah's blunt confession looped nonstop, turned into viral edits, stitched into TikToks, memed across Twitter until Meghan's credibility wasn't just questioned, it was ridiculed. The silence was the cruelest cut. Meghan, who usually never missed a chance to clap back, suddenly had no fight in her. Not a post, not a statement, not even a thinly veiled Instagram caption. Her team tried to draft damage control behind closed doors, but how do you spin against Oprah? Nothing they crafted could compete with the weight of Oprah's raw truth. Every time Meghan's PR whispered, Oprah's voice thundered louder. Meanwhile, the internet did what it does best, it compared. Catherine, serene and unbothered, showing up in public with quiet strength, even while facing her health battle. Meghan, by contrast, pushing out glossy Instagram reels about jam jars, mood boards, and curated moments. The side-by-side was devastating, and the hashtags mocking Meghan's aesthetic over authenticity trended like wildfire. Even her most loyal defenders hesitated, because if Oprah had walked away, how could they stand firm? And Catherine? She didn't lift a finger. No interviews, no statements, no subtle shade. Her Her silence was thunderous. And in that silence, Catherine's dignity became louder than Meghan's entire PR army. The optics were merciless. Meghan looked frantic, Catherine looked unshakable. And in the ruthless court of public opinion, that was Meghan's ultimate humiliation. What made it sting like poetic justice was the irony. Back in 2021, Meghan had weaponized Oprah's platform, using that primetime moment as her shield, her sword, her crown jewel against the monarchy. That interview was supposed to silence critics, to protect her from scrutiny forever. But karma? Karma plays a long game. The same stage Meghan once turned into her fortress became the hammer that shattered her. And the hammer wasn't swung by a stranger, it was Oprah herself. The betrayal was cinematic. Meghan had believed Oprah was her lifelong insurance policy, her unshakable ally. But one live confession flipped the board. Oprah didn't just dent her image, she detonated it. Like a chess queen sacrificed too soon, Meghan was left scrambling with no strategy, no protection, nothing left to play. And here's the chilling part, no palace scheme, no press takedown, no coordinated attack was needed. Meghan's empire didn't collapse from enemies at the gate. It imploded from within, detonated by the very person who once handed her the crown. That's why the betrayal cut deeper than any scandal, because it wasn't an outside hit. It was an inside job. Fans can forgive tabloids. They can forgive critics. But when your most trusted ally, the woman who gave you the microphone, steps forward and says, "I regret ever believing you," that's not something you recover from. That's not a dent. That's destruction. And that's exactly what Meghan's facing now, an empire in ruins, a brand in tatters, her shield of victimhood smashed to dust. Catherine didn't have to utter a word. The palace didn't plot. The press didn't chase. Meghan was undone by her own foundation crumbling beneath her feet. And once Oprah flipped, there was no spin left, no comeback story waiting, only the scars of a reputation that will never fully heal. But here's where it gets even darker, the Oprah blow wasn't the only dagger waiting. Because just when Meghan thought the betrayal couldn't cut any deeper, another voice from her past surfaced. And that's where I'll leave it for now, Meghan's empire crumbling from the inside, Oprah's shocking betrayal, and her own father waiting in the wings with even more bombshells. What do you think? Is this the end of Meghan's narrative or just the beginning of an even bigger scandal? Drop your thoughts in the comments, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one with more hot tea.